Good day all, it is 5 to 5 on what we're told is the 6th of October 2024. This is the Self-Preservation Society on Basil Broadcasting Truth and Therapy, and here I am using the talking stick. And there'll be no music in this one, so it'll be on YouTube, and if you're listening on YouTube you've missed a couple, because I've featured music, and link to my BitChute channel is below in the description box wherever you are. Please have a look on there, and if anything resonates with you, share the message. Don't share me, share the message. Right, I'm going to start with this bloke talking in a minute, but first of all I have to tell you, I heard this yesterday, shared it in my Facebook group. Again, there's a link to that in the description box, and my MeWe profile and group, and my email address and whatever. But I watched this yesterday and I got so fucking angry. So angry. And I've been trying to do something about that anger before I start doing this upload. But you have a listen to this man. And just for some clarity, he's talking about the hurricanes in America, especially with regard to Tennessee and North Carolina. Have a listen. Pay close attention.
Good morning. I just want to cover what I personally am getting from North Carolina, people that are there. And first and foremost, I also want to say this. I do not give a damn about Diddy. I do not give a damn about the people in Diddy. I don't give a damn about anything about that other than this in that situation, that if you mess with a minor or a child and had sexual contact with a minor or a child, or used your fame to do something weird with a kid, then I have got the solution, right? And it requires about 88, whatever that regular gasoline is, yeah. And it's a wood chipper, and that's the sentence. But when it comes to North Carolina, I have got people on the ground. Now, I want to say this, that this is firsthand information, that this is not backed up by no media. This is people on the ground, and therefore could be considered speculation. But, as you know, I mentor many people. I have a young man I mentor in North Carolina. The conversation started yesterday. He called me. He said, I'm trying to get down there with a truck full of water. He runs semis. I said, well, if you can get me some footage. He said, I can. He said, I got friends that have helicopters, and I will send you the pictures and the videos of them flying with the bodies rolling down the river. All right. And I got a good friend named Terry that lives in Georgia, and his brother lives in North Carolina. And he went up there and took supplies to his brother, his medical stuff, some groceries and everything. He loves his brother. He said, while I was up there, he said, I noticed that the state police had put up concrete barriers, right, to restrict the flow of traffic from people coming in and out of the state of North Carolina, to keep them from going and getting supplies. And he said it brought up he said, I'll just tell you what he said. He said, look, he said there was a man that traveled 40 miles out of North Carolina to get groceries and supplies for his family. And upon coming back into the state line, he was stopped by the state police and told that he couldn't come in, right? Now, he has family on the inside of the state. He lives in North Carolina, and yet he had to travel over there to get groceries. Totally understandable. But the state police stopped him. And the man did this. He ran through the barricade. And when they finally got him down, the speculation of what I've heard is that he whooped the living hell out of the state police. Whooped 3 of them, right? And that later on down the deal, that when everybody showed up over the incident, because firefighters and people of the community took the stance that, hey, if you're going to take this guy to trial, we're going to get on the jury and we're not going to convict him, right? It ain't going to fucking happen. And so like 1,000 people showed up to remove the barricades around the state on this highway, wherever it was, this major freeway that's supplying life-giving supplies to people that are in North Carolina. And the state police left. They were overrun. And if there's any weight and truth to that any man, despite position, would stop another man from benefiting his family, I want you to know you just broke the second biggest law in the universe. Because the first one is that you will serve your God. And the second one is this, that you will serve your family. And if you break any one of them laws, I want you to know that you need to repent and you need to own up to it and you need to get right, motherfucker. Because those people are fighting for their life. Those people are trying to survive. Those people are doing nothing more than what you would have done. Matter of fact, if there's any truth to that, you would have called your police buddies and had them bring your shit in. Right? The situation in North Carolina is dire. And if you have information, you know how to get in touch with me. Because I'll take it. Matter of fact, you can just email Jason. How do we want to do this? Email Jason's Burgers and More. That's all one word. Jason's Burgers and More at gmail.com with the information, please. Hope I don't get me blocked off here. But either way, I don't really give a fuck. The truth's the truth. And I'll tell you this, it is a damn shame that we have elected people that are blatantly against any American life seceding. They gave away all this money to other countries, and now our own people are in need, and we can't give them nothing. Hey man, fuck you. We're fed up. And y'all should all hang from the gallows. Because if you can't take care of your own, remember this, that there's only two rules, right? Love your God. And number two, love your family. And we're all fucking family in this country. And I wish I could break free. I've had people contact me, want me to bring my truck. Hey man, if I wasn't in school, if me and Missy both weren't lined up, if Missy loses 3 days, they take her out of the program, or we would be there, right? We would bring our ass. But I'll tell you what I can do. I can get on this phone, I can get on this social media, and I'll light it up. Because if you're suffering, if you're a fucking American, and you're in need, and your country has turned your back on you, and your police has turned your back on you, and they started putting barriers up to restrict you, that is a Nazi police state. Communism. And I will not have none of it. God bless you, fluent English.
That got me really, really feckin' angry. In a way that I haven't been angry for years. And if you've been listening to me recently, you know I said about at Shelley's the other Monday, having my feet done, and I got that feeling in my solar plexus. And I thought at the time that it was probably to do with what happened with Iran and firing the missiles into Israel. And it may well be, but perhaps it's more this. And there can be no doubt, surely, anywhere, with anyone, that our governments and those they represent are at war with all of mankind. They've got humans fighting each other in the way that bloke just said, how them Free State Police tried to stop that bloke going back home with supplies for his family and medicines and whatever. And, you know, if there was anything good coming out of that story, it was the fact that, if it's true, he fought 3 of them off, and then 1,000 people come out and move those barricades so help could get in. It is beyond me how anybody could support the actions of those that work for government. I don't care who they are. Police, doctors, nurses. In another video I watched, a bloke and his son were using their personal helicopter to rescue people, this, that and the other. Remember what he just said to you. Bodies floating down the river. Stench of rotting flesh and whatever all around. And this fire chief told this pilot of this that he would have him arrested if he went in to help the people anymore. He would have him arrested. For pity's sake, fucking wake up to what's happening. I would take issue with that bloke when he said 2 rules of the universe. 1, to honour your God. What a crock of bollocks that is. Because your God, or his God, is watching over while all this is happening. The God he prays to, and remember, when you pray, P-R-A-Y, you become the prey, P-R-E-Y. You show your weakness, you show you're impotent, and whatever. Because you're reaching outside of yourself, because you don't know who and what you are. And yet they showed you in the film They Live. Open your eyes. They showed you in the film The Matrix trilogy what you can be. It's not just Neo, it's you. You're the one over eons of time. You're the one. But because you're not aware of that, you have incarnation after incarnation experienced different shit, and all you're doing is feeding your God. The God you pray to in your churches, that is keeping you subjugated and witnessing your suffering as it happens, as he's doing with those in North Carolina and Tennessee, as he's witnessing and observing with that genocide of those people in Palestine, as I'm recording this. I've said before, and I'll keep saying it. If you think you're a man, then man up and stand up, find your tribe and bring your governments down, whichever countries you're in, all their agencies, the civil service, everything they stand for and represent, and observe universal law, L-O-R-E. Observe natural law, L-O-R-E. And observe and stand in common law, L-A-W. And I offer myself, if you're willing, if you're strong enough and hard enough and whatever, you're willing to bring these people down, and we bring them to a common law court where they're judged by 12 members of mankind, and if there is a unanimous verdict to say they're guilty of causing all this against humanity, humans and mankind, I will be the Albert Pierpoint of the day. I will take that karma on my shoulders and put the noose around their neck or whatever. I don't ask anybody else to do it, because I realise, we've realised the real lies, what all that involves. I will take that karma on. I will sacrifice my soul's journey in order that we can, through the proper procedures, eradicate those that enslave us here. And for those of you that say killing them won't make a difference, they'll be back. Yes, they will be back. But when they come back, if we become aware and awake enough, can change their mindset by instilling in them values based upon universal law, L-O-R-E, natural law, L-O-R-E, bringing them to awareness of common law, LAW, with morality, sense of morality, integrity and empathy. The power is with us. We're in fear of it, we're in ignorance of it, and so we give it away. The power has always been with us. And it's not the first time this has happened in America. The fires recently in California and whatever, and loads of other stuff. And as he said, you know, giving money away to all these different countries, this, that, and the other. Got to get that out of your head, people. Got to, you know, you've got to get that out of your head, and you know how you perceive money to be. It's not your money to start with. It never was your money. You just get the use of it because your corporate masters allow you the use of money in order that you may have the illusion of being rich and powerful or whatever. That's all it is. When you wake up to that, we can change it. We can change everything. It's their money. We have no power over their money other than the illusion that they allow us to live out. And what do we do with their money? We go and buy plastic and TVs and fuck knows what else. And then we put them back to the earth because they've burnt out. They haven't got, they're not designed to last. They haven't got the lifespan in them. You, the true you, are designed to last. The soul and the source consciousness that you are designed to last. Not in the way that you are lasting. Not in the way that they keep restoring you to factory settings every time the body dies. Keeping your spirit in the spirit world. Restoring the soul to factory settings. Setting it back. Sending it back to experience the same thing again. So they can harbour your energy, frequency and vibration. And that's all it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. How much more, for pity's sake, are you going to bear witness to before you stand up and say enough is enough? I am willing to sacrifice my soul's journey and everything that I feel and know that I am in order to be the Albert Pierpoint of the day and eradicate those beings that enslave us and the mindset that those beings represent, because that's what it boils down to. It's the mindset. Castaneda was right. The predator mind. It's the mindset. And we're locked in the mind. We're locked in the ego. We're locked in the spirit because we don't know or we're in fear of what we truly are. I was so fucking angry yesterday. So angry. And it's probably coming across here today. But I went out last night hoping against hope. Shows you what a fucking idiot I am. To go to this evening of clairvoyance to see if anything would come up. I would hear anything from this medium, from the spirit world, that would give any hope. Just anything. Nothing. I've been going to this evening over at St. Peter's at Broadstairs for a few months now. And up until now, every medium I've seen, to a greater or lesser degree, you know, I've been impressed with. But not last night. And, you know, because I took somebody over there with me, a lady in her 80s. She thought it was a wonderful evening. And, you know, I sat and thought about it. She's sitting right next to me. We're seeing exactly the same thing, right? But she doesn't see how I see. I watched this medium work, and he seemed to go to just about everybody he went to. There was some familiarity between them, so he'd probably seen them before. If he didn't know them personally, he may well have seen them before. And a number of times in different messages, he brought up the number 3 or 5 to intimate members of a family, this, that, and the other. And I'm watching that, I'm listening to it, and perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps I'm wrong. I don't think I am. But it was, you know, it was the worst evening I've been to over there. And it's a shame, because a lot of money was raised for the riding for the disabled over at Thanet. Nearly 500 quid, I think, over the last 2 monthly evenings. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. I know somebody that used to go to that riding for the disabled or whatever. So stuff like that is brilliant. But I was so disappointed. What made it worse for me yesterday? My phone packed up. My mobile phone packed up. It would not turn on. I'd just get the Nokia sign, words up, and it wouldn't go any further than that. Wouldn't load up, this, that, and the other. So what made it worse, the person I was with hadn't brought their phone, so I thought, I've got to get a phone. And I had to go into Tesco's. Because it was late in the day, everywhere else was shut. And I had to give Tesco's my money, and I fucking hate that. Friggin' hate that. And I brought this bloody phone, and I made a point of saying, a lad called Bowen, would you like, have you got a Tesco club card? I said, no, I haven't. I said, I'm only in here out of dress. I said, it's the first time I've been in a Tesco store for about 6 or 7 years. I said, he said, would you like a Tesco's SIM card? I said, no, I bloody well wouldn't. And he finally got the point, right? Put my SIM in, my O2 SIM. Funny thing is, because I didn't have all the numbers saved to the SIM card, I've lost a lot of numbers. So if any of you listening to me have got my number, just send me a text if you would and say this is whoever, just in case I've lost your number. Should you wish to do so, it's entirely up to you. But so we've done that, went to that evening of clairvoyance, and you know, sometimes I'm too bloody naive, thinking the spirit world would, you know, give me something, but of course they can't. And you know, Shelley come up and got some beans, harvested some beans and carrots from the garden, and me and her were talking, and we went out for lunch. Fucking hell, went up Farming Low for lunch. And Julie, I've spoken about Julie before. Somebody took our order, then Julie come over just to say hello. How are you today? All right? I said, no, if you want the truth, I'm not. I'm angry. She said, why is that? I said, have you seen what's happening in America? And then she looked at me, right? Fucking Shelley laughed. She looked at me and said, in all seriousness, are you a Trump supporter? No, I fucking ain't. She said, well, what are you on about then? I said, do you not know? So I told her about the hurricane and the aftermath and what's happening. She had no fucking clue. And she said, I don't want to know, really. And that's indicative of the world. Don't want to know. Don't affect me. Don't want to know. Well, it will affect you. It's going to affect you. I bet those people in North Carolina and Tennessee didn't think it would affect them. So they sat down every night to watch their telly, their television. But it is. And you've only got yourself to blame. We've only got ourselves to blame. You can't blame Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, this, that, and that. You can't blame any of those. Because we've fed at their trough. And we continue to feed at their trough. Human beings, the word human means monster in Blacklaw's dictionary. And then you look at monster in Blacklaw's dictionary, it says one who cannot own anything. So those people in North Carolina and Tennessee, the value of their homes and whatever has no doubt gone down. Haven't got flood insurance, this, that, and the other. And Elon Musk, who I've seen come out today calling out FEMA for not allowing him to get help get supplies in. What a crock of bollocks that is. What a crock of shit. Because he wants that land, he needs that land, and its lithium deposits for his car batteries. Wake up, people. Wake up. Smell the coffee. Smell the coffee. But it will continue, until we stand up and we've realised the real lies and our own power when we are individually willing to sacrifice our life. Hoka-hey, Crazy Horse used to say. It's a good day to die. Sacrifice our life in order that our children and our grandchildren and their children may live. May live. Until we are ready to do that, it will all continue. Not a bomb has been dropped in North Carolina or Tennessee or Florida. It's a different kind of warfare. Look up weather modification patents. If you've never come across this before, research and learn for yourself and unlearn all that you know. Look it up. But I am so fucking angry. I'm frustrated. Because I know we all have the power to make a difference, to make a change. And yet we're all in fear of it as human beings. Because we don't know what it is to be mankind. Really don't know. While me and Shelley were out today, we stopped at we had lunch and then we went out for a drive. I needed to go to a special place. And it was really interesting. Shelley knows all my special places where I go out in the forest or something, out the Elam Valley and whatever. And I said to her, as we're driving, I said, where are we going? She said, well, you're going to your special place. And I said, where are we going? She said, the tree where you spread your mum's ashes. I said, no. And then she said, the place near Faversham. And I was blown away. So the back of Sheldrich. I think I pronounced that right. blown away that she got it second guess. So I said to her, fucking hell, I never expected you to get that. She did. And we went to this place. And normally I'll park the car up and just stand there. But this time I walked into the woods. And as I walked into the woods, I could see that there was a clearing. So I went to that clearing, and it's all grass and whatever, beautiful. One solitary oak tree sitting on its own with a face on it. But anyway, I calmed myself down. Took me a few minutes to calm down, and then I spoke to the universe. Didn't pray. I spoke as an equal to the universe. And I said, I'm not asking you to take anything from me. I'm not asking you to take my anger from me. I need to understand it and work through it. But I'm standing there amongst all these trees, and I spoke to the trees, and I asked that they would share their medicine with me, which is strength. The trees stand rooted, grounded to the earth, against all that above the earth throws at them, the snow, the wind, the rains, this, that, and the other. And to the Lakota, their medicine power is strength. And I needed that strength today in order that I could maintain some dignity and control over the anger that I'm experiencing and feeling because of what I am bearing witness to. Not just in Tennessee, and North Carolina, Florida, Mexico, the genocide in Palestine, the bombing of Lebanon and whatever. All of this continues unabated because we're watching the telly, or we're watching the football, or we're watching some or other. That bloke's right, to a degree. He said, I'm not bothered about P. Diddy and what's going on. That is a distraction to a degree, but then I've watched another video today, reel on Facebook, where these babies' bodies were discovered in this container. Some of them had their heads chopped off, this, that, and the other. And that's all linked into P. Diddy and all that sort of stuff. All those people, the adrenochrome and everything else, the body parts, the organ harvesting, everything else. Many of you won't have a fucking clue what I'm talking about. Well, I say to you, wake up, smell the coffee, start researching and see how this world runs, why it runs the way it is. But anyway, we left there and we come down through Chilham, and there was a craft fair at Chilham Village Hall, and I always wanted to look in that hall because from the outside it looks really old, well built, this, that and the other. So we stopped. There was a few stalls outside. The first was a blacksmith. Oh, they fucking walk amongst us, I'll tell you. Anyway, we goes over there, had a look at him, and of course he's made stuff out of metal, this, that, and the other. I said to him, how's it going? He said, very slow. I said, no, I don't mean here. I said, in general. He said, well, that ain't too bad, this, that, and the other. I said, when was the last time you shoot a horse? He's a blacksmith. He said, I'm not allowed to shoot him. I said, do what? He said, I'll get 10 years in jail for shooting a horse. I said, you serious? He said, yeah, you've got to be a farrier. Fucking hell. He said, it's law. I said, no, it ain't law. He said, yes, it is, been passed into law. I said, no, that's an act and a statute. That's not law. Law is the Magna Carta, the Bill of Rights, and stuff like that. Anything else is acts and statute. Let's not go there, he said, and that's indicative, you know, of people. They don't want to go there. They don't want to know the truth, understand it. They don't want to talk about the truth. They want to talk about the football and this, that and the other, and Coronation Street and Friends and what, you name it. Throw your fucking tellies away. And while you can, use the internet at your fingertips is so much knowledge and information. And yet, you let it pass you by because you're after all the material things, which you'll never be able to take with you. You can have yourself buried with all your possessions, just like Tutankhamun did. And sometime in the future, somebody will come along and dig it up and they'll repurpose it. Because it's there. That's what we should all be doing. Repurposing what's already here. Making good use of it. But no. That bloke didn't want to know. Let's not go there. And I know I keep on about it, but it's really important to me because it speaks so much about people. All these fucking people that say they're spiritually awake and aware and they're mediums and they're this, that and the other, they're truthers, this, that and the other. Most of you haven't got a fucking clue. And if you have got a clue, then you'd rather bring in the coin and talk about something that people want to hear than speak the truth like I'm doing. And that's all I do on this channel. And if you don't like it, don't blame me. Don't blame me or the truth for making you uncomfortable. Blame the lies that made you comfortable. I don't know what the future holds. I know what it holds for me. To continue doing what I'm doing because I care passionately about my fellow man. And I am the creator. And I want to create something better. Fuck you gods. All you bloody imbeciles that even with all the knowledge available to you, you're still getting on your knees to a fucking god. Every god I've ever studied turns out to be at best an ET or alien, at best, and at worst a demonic spiritual being that's only interested in your energy, frequency and vibration. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you name it, and on a soul level. When you wake up to that, when you can see the truth will set you free. Because I'm free. I have no fear. That's why I said to you at the beginning, I'll be the Albert Pierpoint of the day if somebody like Bill Gates is tried in a common law court, found guilty of crimes against humanity, mankind, by unanimous verdict. I will be the one to put that noose round his neck. I'll carry that fucking burden with me for you because I love you. Black, white, yellow, red, gay, straight, Republican, Democrat, Conservative, Socialist, Liberal. I don't care who you are. I love you. That which I am. And I will carry that burden for mankind in order that they may be free, or at least have an understanding of what it is to be free. Henry Kissinger was right. Once the herd accept the vax, that's it, game over. I think that's what he said, something like that. But you get the drift. Now it's up to you. It's always been up to you, individually and collectively. If you want to fuck so much, then put a fuck into those that control you. Your governments, the civil service, the bankers, the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, the Council of 300, the 13 families, the Bilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, you name it. Let's put a fuck into them and let's eradicate them and all that they represent from this green and pleasant land that we call Earth. And let's do it in a natural way, the natural order of things, because they are the weakest and we are the strongest. Let us stand up and show that strength in accordance with all that universal law and natural law and common law teaches us. Let's do the right thing for the right reasons to free the people. Free yourself and you can free the people. Throw away your TVs, throw away your smartphones and think. Not as you're told, but think. And as you think, you will become aware. And as you become aware, you will no longer need to think. Because awareness is not thinking. Awareness is knowing. Palamia. Thank you. In Lakesh, in you I see another me. Mitaku Ioyasin. We are all related. We are all relatives. I tell you, not for the first time, and it won't be the last. We're all connected. Get over your hatred for your fellow human beings and learn to love mankind.